Welcome, friends, to Plot Points RP. This is a Cold War in Hell where some of the finest players on the internet and content creators gather together to bring you a show that you can enjoy. Last week we left off with clerics casting fireballs, goblins practicing skydiving off the edge of the cliff into darkness, Drow and Duragar showing up and fighting, and strange chairs at the back of clefts. What's it all lead to? Darned if I know, but we're here to figure it out together. Thanks for being here tonight. Remember that you as a viewer, as part of our chat, get to play along with the story, influence things, give out inspiration, and when we finally hit that critical 50 mark, we're going to have bits that let you shape the story even more. So while you're enjoying it, also share it with your friends. I'm Legend and Sean, not Legend and Sean, that's actually my name, Sean. Legend and Song, I'm here to help be the story guide for tonight. Let me introduce you to some of our players, starting off with the mighty Stranger in the lower right of your screen. She's playing Nerida. Stranger, say hi to everybody. Let them know what's going on and pick your Vic when you're done.
Hello, I'm Stranger. You can find me here. You can find me at Deck of Queers on Twitter and on Spotify. I run a little podcast. I play Nerida, the Water Genasi swashbuckling rogue now. And yeah, let's bring it over to Alex.
Hey, I'm Alex. I play a character named Rembrandt. He's a Tiefling artificer who recently spec'd into being a battlesmith, so I get a cool doggo, robo-doggo. Pretty hype. But I also do a podcast called Three Minds, currently on a hiatus because it's a family podcast and my family is growing in multiple ways right now. So that's pretty hype, but also very busy. Still, we have a bunch of episodes and a couple more to come out soon, TM, so feel free to check that out when you get around to it. Let's toss it over to Kitty Doe.
Hi, Kitty Doe. I run a small YouTube channel that does animations. I think that's it. So I'll pass it over to Eric.
Hey guys, my name's Eric. I play the Druid Warforged B.O.S.E. Glad to be back this week. I did watch last week, which was crazy, Fireball. But I cannot wait to see what's going on now. I really don't have anything else other than this stream right now that's happening. So you could find me here every Thursday. So yeah.
Do I understand correctly that you're actually in the pocket for another stream?
Ooh, well, yes, sir. Yes, I am.
What kind of stream is that going to be?
An all-veteran stream. I'm super excited about that, especially with all the personalities we have coming into play. So, listen, guys, if you love this, you'll probably love the next one that's going to be set up. So, a little promotion there.
There you go. That's it. So we're hoping that one's going to be Sunday night. I've been invited to be the dungeon master of that one for the vets there. So tune into that one. I think we're going to be playing on Sunday nights from 9 to 11 is what it's looking like as the players get together. We'll let you all know more as we go along. But you know what? We're already 3 minutes into this, and that's 3 minutes of prime game time. Klaak's player will not be with us tonight, so please wish Colton well. He's while his character's in one type of jail, he's in another restricted area where he has to focus on life in general. So let's wish him all the best, and we will see him next week. In the meantime, let's focus in on this party. Who knows if they've got plans? But I'm going to pick on 1, 2, 3, 4, mighty one in the door. That's Eric Bose. So you get to start us off. Take it away, brother.
Fantastic. So, I'm assuming everybody except for Klaak is together at the moment. So, after what had happened, clearly with the fireball and all that kind of jazz, B.O.S.E is very curious about Mr. Huxley over there now. So, B.O.S.E would like to maybe go over to Huxley and say a little bit of, let's see. Huxley, what is with your alter ego?
Well, to who now what?
You're not aware.
Aware of what?
Oh, goodness.
I'm really sorry if my ego is playing a problem into all of this. I work really hard to not be egotistical, but I will work harder.
Well, it's not quite exactly what I was getting at, but
You said my over ego.
Never mind. I guess my next question is, what is this crown thing that you love so dearly?
Crown thing? It's
The thing that was on your head.
It's
The gold thing?
it's just a headband.
That's it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this entity has to tell you that there's probably more to that, but do you know, where did you get it?
I've had it for forever.
Like from birth?
As far back as I can remember.
Mm,
I mean, I assume not at birth. I mean, I probably would have choked on it. Or at least gagged myself on it.
perhaps. It's just so perplexing.
It's
Yeah.
really just a headband.
You're really not aware at all of what transgressed before this. The fire.
People had some issues with my incense that I was lighting for my prayer time.
Remy,
Oh, boy.
help me here.
Huxley, if it is just a headband, and he's sort of like groaning and like wiping some soot off at one of his horns, and he says, would you mind if I just took a very brief look at it?
It's the only thing I
It's
have
so
left
well
of
made.
the town I came from.
Well, I promised to give it back.
I'm just worried about it getting back to me broken or destroyed. I see how you kind of tinker with stuff. I'm not comfortable. I'm sorry.
What if I pinky swear that I won't break it?
It's just really not in my comfort zone. Your pinky swear means a lot to me, and it really, really does. I don't want you to feel offended by my non-refusal, and I believe if we pinky sweared on it, that you wouldn't hurt it. It's just not in my comfort zone.
Right.
Thank you for respecting that.
Well, actually, I wonder if you might be able to respect the fact that while maybe you don't remember this, all of us here believe that when that was on your head, we all got fire thrown at us. Now, I'm a bit better with that sort of thing, but even I nearly was rendered unconscious by the blast. It's a matter of public safety. Just
You think
briefly
I'm
recap.
unsafe? Huxley's eyes start watering up a little. I'm really sorry because I don't. Is it because I didn't heal you all fast enough, or
Huxley, you set us on fire.
it was just incense?
Huxley, no, it was a spell. You cast a spell that I never have seen you cast.
I know I can cast fire, but I would never do that.
Unfortunately, you did, though.
No, you see, I try really hard not to do that.
Huxley, there's burn marks on the side of the wall here. My clothes are singed, what remains the little clothing I actually had before this. And I mean, look at B.O.S.E. He's not in any condition to hardly be moving right now.
I thought we were all fully healed. Looking over at B.O.S.E, who's a little worse for the wear. I could put another healing spell on you.
Not necessary. It's just charred scarring. It's really nothing permanent right now.
Right now, is it like a dormant disease that will later? Because I can stop that before that happens.
No, you've done quite enough, Huxley. It's okay.
Oh.
Wait, never mind.
You've got my back, right, Nerida? Okay.
Remy is not lying. There was something that happened when you were doing your ritual. How do your ritual normally go?
Well, normally I sit down and then I pull out my little incense and I put them in my little incense block and I light them, and the fumes and aromas help me to meditate, and I pray to my god.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I've never done anything with fire excessively before. Like, I mean, I know incense are lighted, but I swear, maybe I pulled out the wrong incense and instead I pulled out some sort of explosive? Is that a possibility?
no.
I really didn't mean to hurt anyone.
Huxley, as long as maybe you don't pray for a little while.
I can't do that.
Just a little bit, as he puts his two nubs together like that.
What defines that? Because I have to pray tonight.
Looks at Remy and Nerida.
And do you have to put that headband on when you pray?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Then
could you
don't
just
put
be
it on the
extra careful?
headband.
Yes, could you just be extra careful to just keep that off your head for a bit? Maybe just keep it in a bag, keep it safe. We are around, ne'er-do-wells. Somebody who took Klaak, I think, or, he fell or something like that. People might try and steal something
Ne'er-do-well?
nice and golden like that.
Is that a race?
No, ne'er-do, like never do well, never do good, like
Oh.
bad guys. We don't
Well,
want
I
the
don't
bad
do
guys stealing your headband.
Truly bad. They're just lost.
Right.
I
Okay.
understand. And,
They're lost in
I
such a way that they want your head on a spike sometimes, Huxley. So maybe keep the shiny thing away from your head so it's less of a target. Yes.
Okay, that seems fair.
Wonderful. All right.
Okay. Yay. Are we allowed to clap? I am really sorry about whatever happened. I don't know what to do with my hands anymore. I'm gonna put them behind my back.
The past is the past for now, Huxley. Just
For now, when does the past become the present again?
When you do it again.
Oh.
When you do the thing again.
Let's not write prophecies before. Please, Huxley. Let's just try and be extra careful. Maybe try and stay away from fire, and maybe just keep that in your pack for the time being.
Yeah.
Please.
Maybe you tell us next time you're going to pray, and that way if we see you pulling it out, we can slap it away from you.
Certainly, if you would all like to join me in my prayer time, I'd love
That's not
that.
what I meant.
What?
No, just no. Who do you pray to anyway?
Lythander. I blanked on the name. Lythander.
Thunder. Okay.
The Morning Lord?
How much would I know about Lythander?
That's really up to the role player, but if you would like to leave it to the dice, you can make a history religion check. Kind of copy it over there and combine the two.
Let me just see if I remember much about Lythander. Okay. Okay. I think that merchants and travelers. Okay, I think Nerida knows a little bit about Lythander, but not much. Okay.
So you've heard the name before. You probably figure it's a good god of one of the many good gods. I mean, it's not like it's the god of the wind and the sea or anything. That's something really important and useful, but there's some good god out here that these strange people pray to. There's a whole bunch of those made-up gods and whatnot. Yeah, it's probably another one. By the way, I did give all the players one plot point. You guys are freaking doing fantastic.
ooh.
Right. So now that that's wouldn't say sorted, but tables, I suppose. There's the matter of our missing goblin. Did anyone see where he went? He was standing near the edge there.
Well, he was over there when I started praying.
Okay, Huxley, let's just go with, your memory might not be exactly up to par for what we're trying to do right now, so how about you focus on
I'll go
what you
stand
can
in the
do
corner.
now?
Okay.
What? No.
Lysander,
I was-
or not? Oh my gosh! See now, Huxley stands up and he moves himself to the corner.
Huxley, why don't instead of looking in the one place that Klaak probably isn't, you look around, use your eyes while we try and remember, try and figure
It's
out where
very
he might have
dark.
gone.
He fell. We know that. So he's down somewhere.
Well, maybe he scrambled back up, or I mean, we can't fall. That's not, down's not really the way we can go here. So,
There's a path over there. You can go that way.
yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true. This entity does seem to know a few creatures that don't need necessarily ropes, nor do they, I guess, abide by the laws of gravity.
Okay.
A spider, I'm talking about a spider.
Well. Okay.
We've seen
I'm
you
sorry,
turn
guys,
into
I'm a bit.
spider before.
Yes, I'm just a bit confused how that helps the rest of us.
A large spider. Very large. Perhaps, maybe one by one could carry one of you down, however far it may go.
Maybe carry us down. That
Possibly.
goes quite a bit. At
This
least 200 meters from judging from the thing that we dropped down there. Remember?
There was also a weird chair with a bunch of rope on it. I don't know what it was about, but we can always use that rope to
A chair?
maybe. Yeah, where the bear kid was.
Oh, the student. Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't find anything that might have pertained to his research or anything like that. He was from the artificer school. He might have had some sort of magical item.
No, I
on him.
gave you everything.
Okay.
Other than the weird thing it said on the chair. It said something on the back of the chair.
There was a ring in there, which is did you give that to him as well, or are you holding on to that?
Let me look.
Originally, you said you only gave me papers, and stuff like that, because in the DM list you have.
Right. There was I don't think it was a ring.
You can look in the chat because I
I'm
put in the
looking at it
DM's
now.
to-do list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. The long sword I have.
Oh, there's a wand.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say no, but there was a little fox. There was a wand.
A wand, and Rembrandt's face will brighten up. May I see it?
You want? Okay, sure. I would have made a joke here, but whatever.
I still want to type that in chat, but now I'm having to run over and look at the DM notes as well as her. Where is it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not DM
I
notes,
remember
DM to-do list.
It is a wand of polished wood, which is the joke I was gonna make.
Oh.
So
Oh. I was slow on the uptake there. I was
It's
like,
a-
what's the joke? Oh, yeah. Duh. All right.
Because I'm a terrible person. I pull out
Funny.
the wand and I'm like, this one piece. Will this help you?
Yes. Well,
I poke
potentially.
him with it. Does it do anything?
Ow! No, it's. I don't think you use it like ow! Don't you? Weren't you using magic?
Abracadabra.
I would have thought you.
Oh no.
Does anything happen?
Wild magic.
How much for a wild magic surge with that? She's swinging a wand around and said a word of power.
Was it Stranger that said the word of power?
Yes.
Let us see.
So is gonna happen.
Oh, here we go.
Can we say
no.
fireball?
Oh no!
Oops,
No.
I did it again.
Yeah.
This would be like the third time Bo has
I
been in
need
any
Stranger
kind of
to
fireball
roll a
situation.
1d8, please.
Okay.
Also,
Four.
Spicy
Oh,
from
I need to
Sean
go
real quick. From chat, they're saying it got a little echoey all of a sudden.
They said never
We're good
mind.
now.
Oh, never mind. Oh, you see? Okay, cool.
worry
Oh,
about
yeah,
it.
there it is.
Back to Wild Magic Surge.
It was a brief moment because I had my external speakers on and I had to put my little headphones in. So that was it. Okay, yeah, we already did the fourth thing. She goes
Feels so
abracadabra as Rebby's like going over for it, and literally from this closed cave, a torrential downpour of water comes down, hitting her, flooding over you all. It's got to be like 100 gallons of water, pushing her, and it just happens to be enough behind her that it pushes her forward into Remy, knocking Remy off his feet, splashing over. B.O.S.E is able to keep his tendril feet and whatnot. Huxley's able to keep his feet as well as you're washed towards the back of the cave into this chair, slamming into not only the wood and the rock back there, but some other bits of wood, and then the water is gone just as quickly, flowing back out the front of the cave over the edge, and you can hear this torrential downpour, and she's still left holding on to the wand and whatnot in her hand, and
I just look at the wand.
and as she's holding this wand and looking at it, the ring on her finger is pulsing and gripping to her. You guys don't know this, but she can feel this almost squeezing her hand or her finger tightly as she had said this.
Someone please tell me that was water.
It was a liquid.
And as you're still hoping this, the dead body of the furry student starts floating forward on the water, almost being carried towards the edge, ready to almost go off the edge. And there is one extra inspiration thanks to Knights, XZ Knights input.
Rembrandt will sort of stand up and say, "Okay, maybe put that. Can I have it now? That you've demonstrated just how."
Oh no! I mean, if it's capable of summoning that much water, wow! I did magic. I don't normally do much, but the one little thing I can do, that is.
I can do multiple things.
Oh. Yeah, well, that's
You'd like to
because
see.
you're.
My God can do many
special.
things through me.
That's nice. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You really think that's nice?
No. Well, now you know its activation word, I guess. And if we ever need to put out the fire, and I'm gonna grab that body that's falling. So I just feel bad about that.
You get over there just in time as literally like the top part's going over. You grab him,
No.
what is left of him, by part of the horn, part of the leg, and drag him back onto the edge. Do we have a current light source going for our Genasi? Because if you were carrying a torch, it's definitely out now.
Oh.
I know you had lit a torch previously, you said.
Yeah.
Or a
What
lantern.
happened to the dagger that had
think-
light on it?
I know you had a hooded lantern, too.
I think we.
Oh, I had a hooded oil lantern that was going.
Yeah.
That's what
So,
I had. Did that
you'll
get
have
it
to...
out?
Yeah, you were kind of in a
You'd have to relight
downpour.
it.
It's like, yeah,
Okay.
you're going to have to clean that
Alright.
thing out and relight it. Which, if
Alright.
you want to spend a couple minutes doing that, that's fine. You know,
Yeah, I want to grab the body and just pull it back and be like, no, that would be very, should we bury the kid or something?
We're
Just push him
surrounded
off the
by
cliff.
Solid rock everywhere. I'm not sure we could bury him, but yes.
I want to
do
be-
think-
I agree. I was going to be optimistic with you, Remy, and say that technically he's buried.
as you
Oh.
all are.
I didn't quite think about that. Oh, don't
So
no.
in a
That makes this
certain
a tomb.
sense,
That
we've
makes this a
done
tomb,
good.
Huxley. Let's not make this that makes this place a tomb. Let's not do that.
Here is the wand.
I think it has
Sorry, I
a lot
want
to
you
do
to
with
summon water with
perspective.
it, though. I want you to summon water with you later.
I'll
might ask you to do that.
I'll do my very best, and he sort of gingerly takes it and like examines it, and is like, this is from the university, so he thinks this is like, the hottest thing since sliced bread. Although I don't think we even have sliced bread.
On your first short rest, we will take a look at that, and we'll give you some more information on it. Okay, and inspiration is now given to Kitty thanks to Spicy Shih Tzu. There's just something about saying Spicy Shih Tzu that's fun.
Rolls off the tongue, nice.
I'm finding it.
Spicy.
Inspiration. There we go. Boom. There we go. I had to find it on my little 10,000 clicky things.
So about this chair,
If you want to look at it, it was weird. It had a bunch of rope on it. And it had something engraved on the back. It says... Yeah?
Students. I assume it's a creation of the students.
Maybe? It said on the back of it with the bunch of rope, it said, remember to sit before you split.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what that means.
Remy, you're going over, you start examining this thing, which is now piled up on top of what you can see are some other smashed bits of wood at the back of the cave. It just looked like debris with rocks and whatnot before, but you can, as you're examining, you're noticing in your artificer style, no need to roll, that much of the broken wood is actually what appears to be not just previous furniture, but previous chairs. And the most interesting thing you're doing is as you start examining this chair, you see the words right there, and you realize it's an old dialect. Sit before you split. You don't know what that is off the top of your head. But boy, underneath you recognize something, and it says underneath, written in a typical artificer fashion, hidden away like a signature on a painting, Ochoroko, which is a name you recognize. So you as a player might want to look at your history. You realize that it's a
Doing that now.
So this actually for our viewer. Do you want me to share it or do you want to? I'll let you do it. I'd much rather you do it.
Yeah, just give B.O.S.E, do something. I'm just taking a lot of time looking at this, so it's very delicate work. This rope goes here,
well,
goes there.
From what it says, apparently someone needs to sit on this chair. Any takers?
Well,
Looks
seeing
at
that
Nerida.
seeing that we're all men, I think we should give the seat to Nerida, right?
Of course.
What if it's a...
Wait, hold on. No,
What did you
this
say?
couldn't-
What was the name that you just said?
Ochoroko, Ochoroko.
That was that was
it's
something in
name
the
of-
notebook.
Yes, the students. But that doesn't.
No, the note said to find the student and retrieve the. And I'll like pull out the notebook and I'll show him. And it's in that language. And I'm gonna show him where it says Ochorokan, and retrieve the Ochorokan notes.
Yes, he's a very famous ancient artificer. He built more creations than I can even name, and is famous for some of the most greatest and astounding things true inspiration, and he one of his towers that he built was actually in my home village. That's why it was built in the first place. The sort of point of interest. If this was made by him, one of his works, or even just an invention, it must be a feat. There's no telling what this could do. Give me a moment, and he'll start really looking closely. He'll be looking for pressure plates, where the ropes lead, anything like that. Sit before you split. So it must be pressure based or something like that. So, or maybe there's something that swings somewhere. So he's looking like what the chair is on. He's looking where the ropes go.
Remy,
shattered pieces.
How much history have you done in your own studies about Ochoroko?
Considering it's in the town, like anything he could get his hands on. Remy would, when his family, who were merchants, traders, would ever go into the city, he'd always try and get them to bring back either trinkets or books, anything he could get his hands on to learn or study.
Then I would like you to make an arcane roll for me, please.
Hey, I'm good at those.
Hold on 1 second, and I'll try and get up the roll 20.
I'm okay at those.
It's an 11! Well, it's pretty obscure. You know that Ochiroko has made...
Spicy Shinsu wanted to give inspiration to Alex.
Oh, so did you have wanted to use that on this? Your inspiration? I know it's after the fact, but with grace abundant.
Yeah. No, I think an 11's about where Remy's brain is at after getting blown up.
Okay. Well, you will have that available to you at a later time. In the meantime, that 11 actually tells you that Ochiroko was famous for making artifice out of anything and everything. It's one of the reasons why the town actually surrounded his tower. It's one of the reasons why the university later brought him in. The whole idea, he was like anything and everything was artifice to him. So seeing a chair with his name on it isn't too unusual, and you know he's made chairs and furniture and other things before. Heck, there was even rumors about him making houses and whatnot into literally entire things of artifice, but you can't remember specifically what this one would be for.
Okay. Okay. And Remy's sort of looking around for any indication, like what the ropes are doing, anything like that. Is he able to like glean anything mechanical? He sort of stumped on the arcane, right? So
one of the most interesting things about the rope is now you guys start following it and looking at it, and you're going over it for anything mechanical, is you realize it's all one rope. It's hugely long. It's about 150 feet long. But the most interesting part about the rope, maybe it's even a little longer than 150, it's long, is that it's tied around a stake into the ground at the back of the cave. Like somebody didn't want this rope and chair leaving here. And it's a heavy stake, not a little one, not like a piton that you would use for climbing. This thing's got to be, it's about this wide. Whatever drove this stake into the stone had to be either probably magic or some freaking ogre driving this thing in. Obviously, it wasn't a bear because the bear's dead. Oh, wait.
And the straps look to be from other chairs, right?
Cute kitty alert. I'm sorry, I was so distracted by cute kitty. That's like a plot point for everybody.
and the bits of wood, scraps all over the ground, they look to be from another chair, right?
Chairs in the plural, as if at one time there were multiple. And as you start to look at them more and more and examine, you can see where there were other holes for other stakes. So there were at least 4 chairs here at one time. And again, this chair has bags strapped to the sides of it and whatnot. And, okay, Huxley stepping away. I thought Huxley wanted to chat there for a moment, but go ahead.
All right. Well, it looks like there were a number of these contraptions here at some point. Looks as though they were trying to weigh down this chair. And there's bags strapped to it, right?
Bags that are empty, yes. And they look like carrying satchels, like you would use to haul stuff.
And the rope's 100 feet long, 150 feet long.
Yeah,
right? So,
it's huge, this rope.
But is it all just going to that one stake, or is it?
It's a stake going to the back of the chair, and it looks strapped around the chair as if trying to hold it. But it doesn't look like it's not a super heavy rope or anything else. It's just a long rope. In fact, it's probably thinner than your normal rope, as if it wasn't used for climbing or holding everything heavy.
Mm-hmm. And is there any indication of artifice on the rope? Any weird braiding or anything like that?
Is there any particular way you want to check? There is nothing unusual in the look other than it's too thin for a normal rope. In other words, somebody built this all of one rope. It is all one piece, and obviously carrying the weight of it would be heavy, so it's thinner. It's like maybe a thief would use this rope to do something.
Remy's just gonna run his hands along it, see if he can, just denote any sort of tactile quality of it. See if it, would give if you just gave it a little tug or anything like that.
Being an artificer, you actually do realize something about it. When you're handling the rope, it seems to be made of something that you would, I'm going to use a word from our terms, would be silk. It is a silken rope, which is why it's so thin. It's extremely strong because you're pulling on it, trying to stretch it, trying to pull fibers apart, and none of the fibers will give. And you wouldn't have noticed it except for the fact that it's so wet now from the flood. And the fact that the way that it twists and everything else, you're like, wait a minute. Whereas some rope would normally absorb some of the things, the silk gets wet, but silk is actually incredibly strong when it's wet.
Sit before you split. Maybe leave? Huxley, come here a moment.
Yes, walking over. How can I help?
I have a very important job for you.
Oh, well, I would love to be able to help.
All right. It requires you to sit in this chair.
I don't want to take the chair from the lady if she would like to sit.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, well, all right then. Huxley sits. Now what?
Huxley is sitting in the chair and just kind of looking around at the rest of you. And again, we're going to assume that by now Stranger was able to get her hooded lantern, relit. And so she's got plenty of light to see everything that's going on. That's just minor stuff. And you see Huxley sitting in the chair just kind of bopping around looking, the shadows of B.O.S.E. You're at the back of the cave, but the chair doesn't move at all. Huxley, you feel like you're sort of glued to the chair, though.
I think my
Your
butt
butt
fell asleep.
Yeah. Oh, good phrase.
Your butt fell asleep. What?
Uh-oh.
You know, when you get that
Maybe-
tingly sensation.
Okay,
But
it's not tingly.
Let me see.
That's okay.
Mm.
Is Huxley able to get up? That's what Remy's actually trying to see.
Remy, is there any possibility that there might be some sort of malicious intent with this chair?
I don't think so. There's only remains of about 3 others here that were destroyed, so I don't see any reason why this chair would be malicious. Hold on, Huxley, you try and wake up your butt or whatever while I look through the student's notes. Maybe he has something about the chair in here.
Maybe we can lower you down with this chair and the rope.
I don't know if that's a good idea. The rope's only about 100 feet down, and I think it was at least maybe 200 down to the bottom of that, maybe more. I don't really know what winked out the torch, remember? So it could have been anything.
You're taking time to check the notes, right, Alex?
Yep, Remy's going through the notes. He's just sort of saying that while he's nose in the book, just sort of, I wouldn't do that, and back to the book.
What are the rest of you doing? What are some intents? B.O.S.E?
Well, B.O.S.E is still kind of really wrapped around the ideas. It's like I could still turn into a spider and do some cool spider stuff. Because right now this chair is just a chair. B.O.S.E is just like, I don't use chairs anyway, so this doesn't excite me.
Maybe.
Didn't you already use both your wild shapes for today?
For today? Well,
Because we haven't had an overnight.
We had a short rest, though.
Oh, okay.
Which I would
Perfect,
also
yeah.
like to mention, I did the stones during that short rest. So I should
So
have
you got
some
your first
stones.
one? Because you can do one per, right? Yeah.
Yep.
In fact, that's actually your second short rest, because remember you guys took a short rest when you first got down here.
Correct.
So that would actually be your second one on that. You'd want to make that adjustment. For the rest of the party and for our viewers, what that means is that when I describe all these rocks at the back, B.O.S.E tends to particularly find large rocks and he integrates them in with all his vines and whatnot. So now he's even a little bit bigger than when he smacked into the cleric previously. He's heavier.
Looking a bit chunky.
You're adding on 60 pounds of rock each time or something like that?
Yup.
Yeah. Various things woven into his vines and just getting bigger and chunkier.
So I'm a little bit slower.
How about you, Nerida?
Um,
While he's nosing the book.
I think that whatever this chair is doing, the idea of you turning into a big spider and scurrying us down is not a bad one.
There's also the spider silk, also known as a form of rope. I don't know how far it can go, how far I can be able to make it go, but it's a thought.
So
Now,
Rembrandt's-
while Remy's been
Rembrandt's
looking
just-
in the book, oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say Remy's still like sort of looking at the. He's like only half listening, so he says, but he says, what about falling off the spider? And then he just sort of just goes back and just he's not listening for a response at all. He just says that.
Huxley, how about you?
Huxley is seeing if he can lift his legs up and down. He's like kind of like moving his arms around, trying to suss out like what all can he move on this chair.
The interesting thing
Does
is,
that still work? His head seems to work. Is his brain gonna fall out? No, his brain's still in there somewhere.
you guys
Oh
see
my
all this as Huxley holds it out, tests each finger, wiggles the feet, whatnot, and literally Huxley can feel every part of his body except for the fact that his butt feels numb. And as B.O.S.E is standing there, like I said, planning on testing the rope, B.O.S.E realizes something, that the rope seems to like almost slither out of his tendrilled fingers a couple of times, even before Rembrandt, who's focused on the notes, has a chance to notice it. So B.O.S.E notices that the rope is literally slowly recoiling itself into a coil, the same coil that our water Genasi had previously seen at the back of the chair. Remy in the meantime is nose to nose in this book and does find some notes. In fact, when I talked about the marginalia before, whatever student was reading these notes and has made notes afterwards in this text on some of them has actually circled notes about chairs in this book and talking about a leap of faith, using these as an elevator. But he talks about leap of faith, and there's big question marks after it, and questions, how do you sit when falling, was his big question.
Sit while falling. That's a very good question.
And I would like you to make a, you're asking about a very good question. You need to actually do an investigation roll on the notes.
Okay. Also be okay at this. 13.
Woohoo! 13 is just enough that you catch the note where he's actually circled part of it. This is my own little kitty cat. Yeah, it's kitten. Why are you all wet? I know why you're wet. You've been in the toilet again, haven't you?
No, he had a bath.
Oh, did you have a... Oh, you smell good. You had a bath. Oh, no wonder you're so freaked out right now. Did somebody give you a bath? These guys just got a bath too. You find a note in there that actually says limited distance for feather fall. And then it has like this artificer symbol, which is basically like us putting an uh-oh on a text.
Oh, okay. But how would the chairs have broken here? Doesn't make any... Hasn't broke. Alright, so I think I figured something out. The chair, it'll slow your descent while falling, but only for so far. And it'll start looking up. Is there like a place these could have fallen from, like above us or anything like that? No?
Absolutely not. No, you're in a tiny little cleft of a cave that just gets smaller at the back. So literally, there's nowhere these could have come from.
I'm trying to clench my butt.
And by now, Remy notices what B.O.S.E has already noticed, which is B.O.S E must have coiled up the rope for you because it's pretty much all coiled up at the back. There's just like maybe 20 feet left that he hasn't coiled yet. Our human...
Oh, perfect, B.O.S E. Thank you.
Huxley, no, your butt feel... In fact, no, you're right. You know, as you're playing with your butt, you're like, oh, it was not... No, I'm getting feeling back in my butt now.
You're trying to clench.
You're clenching... I can feel it better.
Oh, guys, good news. My butt has come back.
Yeah, okay.
I think you
Congratulations.
broke spicy with that one. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he's going off.
Okay.
I think it may have wandered off, but it's okay because it's here now.
Huxley, how would you feel about, how do I put this? B.O.S.E picking up the chair and throwing it off the edge with you in it?
That seems like a way to die.
But look, it's a magic chair, Huxley. It's look here.
It's not a magic chair. My butt just fell asleep.
Yes, it's clearly cast a spell to make your butt fall asleep. Now, and
That's
he
not
sort of
how-
runs over with the notebook, and he tries to explain the. But he's gonna start using like super technical mumbo jumbo, like and yes, and so here is the catalyzed magic flux inversion model that we use to calculate this sort of effect, and so but basically when we boils down to it, it should slow down your descent, and if it doesn't slow down your descent all the way, we have the stake and the rope, which will stop you from dying because your butt is firmly stuck in that seat.
I don't think it's firmly stuck in the seat anymore.
Well, it initially was, though.
Or
But
we
it
can
should be
just.
again if you stand up and sit down.
But it's... Huxley will see if he can stand up.
You absolutely can. Huxley stands up, no problem whatsoever. You're
My
fine.
butt's not stuck to the seat. I think your calculations might be a little off. I don't know much about math, but I do know what I'm seeing, which is that my butt's not stuck to the seat.
Remy,
We'll
how
tie
sure are you?
We'll tie you to the chair. Well, quite certain. I mean...
Hey, I have a terrible idea. And I'm gonna feel bad for saying it.
Okay.
We have a corpse we could test this week.
Oh, we shouldn't desecrate the dead.
No.
Is it desecration or is it discovery? They both start with the same letter. It's confusing. I know.
No, it's desecration.
Or
I deal with
or
this
we
stuff in
can
my
ride
religion.
Bow Spider down, and if you're worried about falling, I have rope. I can journey rig a harness. I'm good with rope.
Why do... Well, let me see. This pack had some rope in it on its own, I believe, as well. What if I tied... If we had two ropes? A rope tying you to the chair, and the chair's tied to the spike, and then we throw you off, and then we see if you die, and if you don't, then we're good. Also, Klaak fell, and I'm hoping he's alive, so...
Is this your way of saying you want me dead?
No, of course not. But you did set me on fire a few minutes ago, so you're my test dummy.
I don't remember doing that, but I guess that's fair.
Perfect.
It's worth a
Guild
shot.
always works with the test subjects. Perfect.
Should I
Fully
sit back in
noted.
Should I sit back into the chair?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Huxley
and-
sits back down.
Right.
And
You sit back down, but you don't feel anything. Your butt doesn't feel numb. You just feel like you're sitting on a chair. It's like, oh.
So we're gonna tie me to the chair.
That was
Yes.
not the plan. You could do that, sure. Or, we could see how far the rope... we could measure the rope and see how far down it goes and just climb down the rope with the chair. And see how far it goes.
Oh, okay.
Possibility.
That one sounds less
Fine.
dangerous.
Fine. I don't understand why you would ever doubt invention by Okaraka, but if you
Don't know
have
him.
absolute faith in
Never heard of him.
Sutherland's, you wouldn't know knowledge if it smacked you in the face. Anyway.
I don't think knowledge is a thing that can smack someone in the face.
I think it is. It's called a book.
Ah!
It's
I
called
like
the
her.
stick of inspiration that you hit somebody with.
I'll hold up my journal and I smack Huxley in the face with it. See, you can hit in the face with a book.
In the meantime, Nerida starts to, as she's whacking Huxley in the face with the book, it's almost like her hand is like pulling away from the book a little bit. In this case, it's pulling towards Discord where the player got a separate message.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know.
That was smooth.
Ooh, okay.
By this time, B.O.S.E has correctly stacked up all the rope, doing absolutely nothing. It did it on its own. But it's impressive to the artificer that you did this without moving. You're really good. Huxley, you have no idea because the rope is coiled behind you, back where it all started from, near the stake in the ground, where you can see like literally it tried to pull together, but since it couldn't pull away from the stake, it's coiled itself up back there.
I'm going to after I finish smacking Huxley, I'm gonna see, you can be hit in the face with knowledge. You guys try whatever you want. I'm gonna do something real quick. And I'm just
Can
gonna
I come with? I think it's best to do a buddy system.
No, I'm not going far. Just over to a puddle.
Oh, okay.
She is carrying a lantern with her, so you're all within like 30 feet. So
Isn't she pretty? Huxley says to Remy as Nerida walks away.
She might be really impressed if you get this whole chair thing to work.
Huh?
So why don't we move the chair to the edge of the cliff and then we just a little push from B.O.S.E and just see what happens.
Nobody's gonna hold the rope and slowly lower me down. We're just gonna go for it.
there's this creaking noise as Remy starts pushing at the back of Huxley, trying to wiggle Huxley in the chair. Huxley had just stood up, but quickly falls into the chair, and Remy just starts shoving her in the chair, like along the stone. B.O.S.E just kind of watches, still having the rope in his hands, as he's like, okay, B.O.S.E, who is strong enough to probably lift and shove it on his own.
Come on, B.O.S E, give me a hand here.
Are you absolutely sure?
It is limited range, but that's what the rope's for.
Okay.
So B.O.S.E goes over. How close are we to the edge?
Give or take about 40 feet to the back of the cave.
So B.O.S.E is just gonna go and just pick up the chair straight from Remy, just grab it with Huxley in it, and just start walking.
Starts walking by Nerida, who's kneeled on the floor, looking into the puddle with her lantern up near her face as she stares into the puddle.
Bye, Nerida. Bye, Nerida.
Hello, Huxley. Goodbye forever. Hopefully not, Huxley.
And then the next thing you know, B.O.S.E has walked you over to the darkness. Because remember, there's no light or anything. He walks over to the edge of the stone, and your vision, you can see the edge of the stone, and you're looking down into darkness off the edge of the chair, just kind of hanging on. They never tied you into the chair, as I recall. You talked about it, but I don't think anybody did. So you're just hanging onto the chair, no straps.
I'm gonna hang on.
And B.O.S.E is holding you over the edge.
I'm gonna lock my arms behind my back, so that way hopefully that helps keep me centered on the chair and put my two legs
hold on
around
to the rope
chair.
as well.
I feel safe.
Oh, okay. Well, if you feel safe, then B.O.S.E, do the thing.
B.O.S.E, before throwing the little lass off the cliff, he's just gonna go ahead and say,
Don't worry, Huxley. You prayed today.
And throws him off.
No, this is so bad.
Oh my god!
This is not my fault. We're literally throwing people off the...
Oh, Lysander!
Well, it's supposed to be an elevator. It's Featherfall with a limited range.
I have full
Watch that range
confidence
be
he'll
30
be okay.
feet.
Just hang on.
I stick my hand in the puddle.
Are you saying anything, Huxley, as they throw you? Or are you just like, whee?
5 seconds.
The circus has been to your village before. Maybe you've done something like this before. I don't know. But B.O.S.E chucks Huxley into the dark, outside of the hooded lantern range, as Nerida, looking into the puddle, is just like, and reaches down into her own reflection and can't feel the bottom of the puddle and can't feel the bottom of the puddle, and it goes further up the arm and all the way up to your armpit end, and you're like, where's the bottom? And it's almost like when you're thinking where's the bottom, you can feel like a fuzzy, sandy bottom somewhere down there, but there's like no edges and whatnot. And I'll send you a quick chat follow-up on some of the details.
Sure.
So
I don't know how
Remy's
you want to
like-
respond to that, but
Remy's like on all fours, like his head over the edge, just looking at Huxley fall.
as he falls out of sight, I mean, you don't have very far distance range, so it's pitch darkness, and literally just
rope go
the
taut
cord
or
goes out,
anything?
and the rope is literally uncoiling fast as you're just watching it go
It should slow down.
faster,
in a minute
faster, faster. Ain't slowing down. If anything, it's speeding up as the arc goes from out to down and picking up speed until we hit terminal velocity. That rope's going mighty quick. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And Huxley, you're following 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50. And
Any minute now.
smash! Huxley, you hit ground at terminal velocity.
New character.
With this,
I don't know what to do for you.
how much damage is that?
A lot.
How
Well-
far down was that?
About 140 feet.
So 14d6.
A lot.
I thought
Yeah.
Isn't there water at the bottom of this?
Oh no, Knight, Gwen Stacy, no.
Klaak got thrown off into water.
Wow. No test runs, nothing, just chuck a character off. I love you people. I love you all.
Well, Remy saw this dude's name, so he's gonna, this is like top shelf stuff.
Did it work?
The rope is now
Slay.
laying flaccid there. It's not taut or anything. It's just laying
Well,
flaccid.
it must have slowed down. It must have slowed down at some point. Then I guess maybe he's gently drifting down. Then
B.O.S.E is gonna start yelling Huxley's name, like hoping for a response. This is traumatizing.
You know, you could roll all ones on your 14d6. It could happen.
he did.
Well, people do have plot points to adjust
He
things.
prayed.
Yeah. in the words
Never
of Bo,
forget,
the
plot
best
points
one-liner.
are not just about adjusting your rolls. Plot points are adjusting what's happening in the game. That is the whole idea.
Yes,
Wonderful.
didn't Klaak fall off into water? How much for?
Klaak
Water.
fell onto a.
At least
we
water
don't
being
know,
down
but
there.
Klaak fell onto a platform that wasn't as far down.
Okay.
You guys tossed me to the center of the ravine.
Oh.
Okay. Are we hearing no response from Huxley right now? Like
Yeah,
zero?
What do we need? For
Not
this
until we
not-
resolve if you guys are doing anything, because we don't retcon. You guys work in advance.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Um.
What can we throw plot points at right now?
Yeah.
How much?
Uh,
How much was? Well, we don't know how much the damage was.
We haven't even determined if there is damage until we resolve if you guys are doing something. But it is 100, about somewhere around that 150 foot mark down. 140, 150, 60, whatever.
should
Well, what we do
pull
know
the-
is that the rope has landed at the bottom, so we could just slide down the rope and find out for ourselves.
There you go.
Should we pull? Should we maybe go down on the rope or maybe pull it back up?
I volunteer to go down myself. I'll follow down the rope.
You're not going alone. We've already lost two.
Well, this entity will not be falling this time.
How many plot points would it take to say there is another one of these bottomless holes right under where Huxley fell?
I also want to picture that this bottomless hole now means that Huxley's just falling forever. And
That's worse than death.
Well, the hole that you're referring to, that you have your arm in up to your thing, that can't, because that's something different, and that's associated with
Gotcha.
yeah, that's associated with you. I just haven't had a chance to type a response because I'm following what's going on in the game.
And how many plot points would it take to say that Huxley
In fact, I don't mind announcing.
had
Instead of announcing it, or I'll just announce it out loud since it's your character. These guys are good players. They don't know. But that is actually your first ability from your ring, and that is that you have a bag of watery holding. Wherever you can find still water, you can access a bag of holding. It's a bag of holding filled with water, but you can put whatever you want in it. And
that's so cool.
wherever there is still water.
That's really cool. Hold on, I gotta feed my cat.
I don't suggest you put books in it or food.
If Huxley isn't dead, she's gone. I'll tell her. If he's not dead, I mean,
so I had a question. How many plot points would it take to say that when Huxley put his arms back behind, he while he was falling, his wrist got tied up or knotted up in one of those ropes?
Oh, that just like I wouldn't even charge you plot points on that. That's fine. We can do that because it's very easy for a DM to say, "Hey, look, the arms are behind, and we can snap them up and break your shoulder." So I like that. That's free. No,
yeah, but then we won't.
I'm just playing. I'm not that big DM.
The falling damage.
Yeah. I love
Maybe,
it.
or does the chair hit the ground?
Breaks the fall a little bit.
Well, again,
Did
I
the
haven't
chair
really.
hit the ground?
You have not, and nor would you here because again we've talked about the distance being so far.
Yeah.
I've purposely been very vague, other than the rope has gone slack because I want to find out if you guys are adjusting the plot before because once I do the outcome, you can't retcon it and go back and say, "Oh no, we didn't want that person to die." Totally, the power's in the player's control. Did you? Wow, nice. Snap of the spine.
Oh my god.
Huxley's spine.
It's like a flip of the coin with these viewers. 1 minute they're helping you, the next minute they're snapping your spine.
I have one last idea. How many plot points would it? Well, I guess we don't say we can adjust things as they are, but we don't retroactively change what we've already done. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I couldn't
how
ask
about
to
Huxley
spend
getting
plot
hung
points
up
to have
at, like-
said something.
I'll give you an example, such as the one that I usually use when describing plot points for people who aren't used to them. Your players are being chased inside of a Minotaur's labyrinth, and all of a sudden the Minotaur's catching up. You know that, and you run into a dead end. I can't change that, but all of a sudden, DM, wow, how many plot points would it take for there to be a secret door here? Well, that's only 5. Great, so there's a secret door there, and then the DM says, but how do you know it's there? You know what? How many plot points would it be for my thief to know that it's there and whatnot? Boom. All right, so we say it's a total of 15. 5 for the door, 10 for your thief to automatically recognize without having to search. And bam, it's there. So we didn't change anything that had already happened. You haven't already been caught. You're changing it in advance before your Minotaur's on top of you.
So,
all right.
So then I have an idea. Alex, you might have an idea. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, so we've already established that the rope is stopped, so that's a bad. We've established that I've looked down and I can't see Huxley, also bad. So we have to do things within that frame. So I'm just saying Nerida's idea of Huxley getting caught maybe at like 60 feet or something like that. That's just beyond my dark vision range.
Either that, or if we can't say that, then my alternate idea is to ask how many plot points it would take for the bottom, instead of, we know there's water down there, but we can't change that there's not water here, I don't think. How could we change it to say that there are like bales of hay that they've gathered here that whoever is usually down here usually uses, and that he's fallen on a bunch of bales of hay?
Exactly. That's the type of thing that you usually want to do. It's like, yeah, we want something at the bottom, DM, to catch this falling death thing.
So how many plot points would that take?
Maybe the chair is bouncy. I love that idea. Can the chair be bouncy? Can we
but the chair didn't hit the ground.
Unfortunately, the chair is not bouncy. We've seen so many smashed already that are all the same, so we know that they are pretty much a normal wood chair. But as far as DM, there's got to be something to fall into, because somebody else was smart enough to plan for this. We can do that, and let's call that, I don't know, 12 plot points. Let's see if you can come up with that.
Right.
Have 14.
I have 23. I'll use all
10.
dozen because I'm the person who said throw Huxley off the edge.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
I feel like that's only fair.
the most yes, hello, kitty cat. If anybody's looking at the little ears, that's my little kitty cat. That's Harley. The just out of sight, there is a, unbeknownst to you, Huxley, you have landed in something soft and rolled out of the chair. You're still hanging onto the rope, so even as the chair rolls away from you, you still have it because you have the rope that the chair is attached to. But you guys don't know what or how because it's out of sight of you. So the real question is, what are you doing? Now, you've seen this go slack.
I know what it does. I know what it does.
You haven't heard any smash.
I'm such an idiot.
You haven't heard any smash and whatnot. Huxley, what are you doing as you roll out of this stack of like hay and whatnot that you're in? Now you can see around you, and you can see the edges of a bridge, and there's this cart filled with hay in the middle of the bridge, and it looks like the cart either broke under you or has always been broken for a long time because this hay is nasty, rank, and as you hit it, other small rats and whatnot, which cushioned your fall, roll out. And we will leave you with, how many hit points did you have to start with?
22.
Okay, so you didn't fall that far because you actually hit the same bridge as Klaak hit that crosses the expanse, only because they threw you out. And you lost with it's approximately 70 feet down. That's only 4. I gotta roll more dice. Hold on one second. But we're gonna say that it saves you either way. I'm just seeing whether or not it saves you with a lot of hit points or a few. That would be 7
Sean, I know what
plus
it does now.
8 is 15 points of damage you take. The rats helped
18?
save you a bit. 15. 1-5.
15. 1-5.
Yes, ma'am.
I know what it does now.
Thank you.
I'm so dumb.
And slowly, Huxley, you're noticing that the rope appears to be like kind of pulling back, and you guys are watching this rope, which was laying there flaccid. Slowly, it tautens up inside the cave, and it seems to be crawling back up.
Look at that.
Guys?
Yes, did it work? Did you land safely?
Thank God.
No.
No.
Oh, you're
No,
alive.
like I said, I think, and I'm not sure, but I think your calculations were off.
Limited range. Why would they put? Can I roll? I should probably roll an int check to see if Rembrandt realizes what I have. Right?
You don't need to roll, man. Just take it. Players
Fine.
and puzzles are fun.
Wait a minute. Your butt fell. His butt fell asleep for a moment. Tingle sensation on the initial, but not the second thing. And there's a rope to lower down. Oh my goodness! You sit on it, and then you have the feather fall effect for a short period of time. But it's a limited range, so that's why you get lowered down the side. First, because you have the limited range, so you get lowered down, and then you feather fall the rest of the way. Oh my gosh! I'm a genius, but I'm a late one.
Yes, that's
Is he saying any of this loud enough for Huxley to hear?
He's screaming it. He's
yeah,
Next
I can't answer that.
time, could you be a genius a little faster?
Best
thing, Huxley.
quote of the night.
Oh,
Genius
I
a
think
little
no,
faster.
best quote of the night by far. But don't worry, Huxley, you prayed before this.
yeah, no, that is the quote of the night. Oh my god.
God. Love it.
Yeah. So whether this is right or wrong, Remy's gonna wait for that rope to come back up, and he's gonna test his hypothesis.
Have I realized the effect of it? Is that something I just suddenly know, or am I still not sure about it? Okay, cool. Got it.
Sean, you're muted.
Yep. So sorry, they could hear me. Chat, or viewers, if you're wondering, we also have Zoom going, so they were probably hearing me through Zoom, which of course is coming out. But sorry that you couldn't hear me. So I answered Stranger's question that
no.
it is a bag of
Oh.
what? What's up, Alex?
I don't think they're saying they couldn't hear you. Like while you were talking, you were muted.
I know that, and I'm explaining to them why.
Okay.
So sorry about that. I don't mean to sound harsh. Yeah, I'm just telling them we have 2 different sound systems going, so what we can hear as players in a team isn't always going out to the stream. We unmuted. We're good to go there. So that they all understand what I was saying to a stranger was I was explaining that yes, she understands that it works as a watery bag of holding wherever she can find a still bag, puddle of water. They also, the entire team, is noticing that the rope is coiling itself back up, back at the stake at the back of the cave. Slowly now, it has Huxley hanging onto it, and it becomes taut once again as it tries to pull out of Huxley's hand. but unfortunately Huxley is too heavy, and Huxley is noticing that the rope is coiling itself up at her feet, slowly pulling the chair back up until the chair is next to her on the ground.
Tug on the rope a few times.
Yeah, as she tugs on it, it uncoils at the top and then kind of slowly yo-yos itself back and forth. And you guys can take all this in.
What's going on?
So it's not pulling Huxley up.
Nope.
That is what I'm hearing. Okay.
Correct.
Huxley, I presume you landed on something, yes? Ground, or are you just hanging? Did you get caught in the rope, or are you
I think
on
I
ground?
hurt some little rats.
Heal them.
Boy.
Oh,
Save their lives. Revivify.
That's such a great idea. He's gonna
They
start
can be
digging
dinner.
through the hay to see if he can find some rats to heal.
Huxley, do you?
Huh?
Huxley, are you on ground? Ground. Thing on feet. Stand.
There's a
Handstand.
bridge.
Okay, stay on the bridge.
And it's a very ratty bridge. Don't forget that one of the ropes already broke when the last goblin hit it. And now you have hit this. Luckily for the wagon of hay and whatnot.
I thought you were going to say the wagon of plot armor.
So are we saying that
You
this
spent
bridge
them,
is
not
not?
me.
Are we saying this bridge isn't very weight bearing?
Yeah,
we don't.
you
we
can
don't know
try. Yeah. People at the top don't know. Just jump off. Cannonball!
Well, you know, when there's like a mass of rocks and vines, it kind of makes things difficult.
Well, when you stretched out
Huxley,
previously in the previous game, when you just chose to be rope, you could not reach the bridge. So it's beyond the 40. Because how long can you stretch? Is it 40?
I think 40.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Let me call down. So Huxley, can you just stay down there for a bit?
Yes, I don't think I can do much else right now.
releasing the rope to look for rats, the rope continues to start snaking up again, pulling itself taut, and you guys are seeing this at the top as slowly it's curling away after she said that. You are able to find a couple rats, and we'll call it within the first, few turns, and you're able to revivify their 0 hit points, wasting a couple of cures on them. So you're able to save a couple. The third one it doesn't work on. It's been too long. It's failed its death saves.
And
But-
now Huxley has used all of his spells again.
The one rat scurries away from you, but the other one seems to wow, you just fed it food, and it suddenly likes you and it wants to stay with Huxley.
Oh,
Huxley has a pet rat.
Boy.
hello.
Oh boy.
At the top of the cave, Nerida and our artificer and our
Yeah.
druid.
I'm gonna say, Huxley, hold on to. Do I see the thing snaking back up?
You can, at your feet in the
Okay.
light, you can see it slowly coming back.
Hold on to the chair if it's still down there, so we can just propel ourselves down.
Okay.
Letting go of the
Oh,
rat,
you
she
want
holds
to
onto it,
repel, okay.
and slowly
Oh, no,
the
I put
rope.
it up on my shoulder.
You put the
rat.
chair. Oh, I thought the
Oh.
chair. I was like, so she's wearing the chair on her head. I'm like, I was like,
He would do that too.
I was like,
That wasn't the farthest thing out of the realms of possibility.
I'm just picturing the chair on her shoulders and the rat sitting on the chair and so,
I am king of the rats.
Logic.
I give
Slowly-
it a throne.
slowly the rope becomes pseudo taut once again as it's trying to coil itself at the back of the cave, but it's unable to get with her holding onto the chair. It's trying to pull the chair and it becomes pseudo taut.
Okay, I'm coming down. We can just
Be
ride
careful.
the rope down. It's fine.
Now you are a rogue, so rogues are very good at testing things. They are not foolish. Rogues don't die easily. And so Nerida takes the taut rope and starts pushing on to see if it holds weight and realizes that, oh no, as you start putting on this, the rope starts uncoiling from the back and it will not hold that much weight. The rope of coiling tries to recoil, but basically anything more than you quickly figure out than maybe 20 pounds is going to make the rope sag. It can't seem to pull more than its own weight plus about maybe 20 or 30 pounds.
Okay.
So you know not to slide on it. That's just
Alright.
freebie, you're a rogue.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
the rope will just extend down.
It
Or
starts
will
uncoiling, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
But what if we? Okay, but what? So would pulling it like the rope all the way down there and then trying to go down that way, would that work, or would it just start coiling up again and have room to fall? Because like if it was fully extended, right, it'd be okay.
I have an idea.
You can try that. Yeah. Because you got
Why
an
don't we
anchor at the top.
try-
What's your idea, Nerida?
Why don't we try to unstake or cut off the rope where it is staked and just use that to just... B.O.S.E can hold on to one end and just go down it?
How would B.O.S.E get? Well, the spider. B.O.S.E could get down as a spider. Yes.
Right. I'm still in the vote that I'll just ride your back as a spider, by the way. If
You are
Well,
we
more
have
than
rope,
welcome
we can
to.
just make a harness.
But the chair's cool.
Yes, the chair is cool, but it's also volatile, it seems.
Well, how about? Okay. Well, but why have B.O.S.E hold on to the rope when it's already secure there?
Well, maybe if it's not tied down to one specific spot, it won't be doing the coiling and the uncoiling thing.
Has Remy ever interacted with a rope of coiling before? Would he know if that's true?
Or have I?
I'll let each of you make an arcane check. My answer would be no, but you know what? You guys can outroll me. I'm setting a DC in my head because this is kind of a unique
10.
invention.
This is like my
What?
this is my big thing, and I.
No, neither one of you has experienced
Yeah,
this
it's better,
before. And just so that the chat can see that the rolls that hopped out, we had a 10 and then we had a 16 and no.
I'm +5 people.
Yeah. Neither one of you have interacted with one. I don't mind if you say I've heard of these things, but this particular one, that's the first one.
Okay. Well, I think we should just ride B.O.S.E down.
I'm not very good with spiders.
Then you can close your eyes and pretend that it's a pony.
Again, as a spider, this entity could probably make his own rope. And if you're not too keen on spiders, I'm sure the spider web is a good alternative.
Spider webs could catch you, yeah. Use a spider web. Somebody cast a web spell. Just kidding. Huxley, in the meantime, the rat is trying to get into... Do you have any food stores on you, rations?
Yes.
The rat has smelled them and is trying to get into them. Would you like to open them and give him your rations and
I
spoil
will
them?
open a ration and give him the jerky in it.
Oh, you have made no need for an animal handling check. You have just made this rat your severe friend. He's like, oh, keep feeding me. He's kind of scrawny, skinny.
Is his name Remy? I realized we already have a Remy, but like Ratatouille style.
Oh my god.
You may name the rat whatever you desire.
He's Remy Jr.
Because he has a tail, obviously, tieflings, rats,
Yeah. It's
The thing about this spider, it won't try to attack you or bite you, probably.
Yeah, probably.
B.O.S.E, do you think you should probably carry us one at a time down there?
It's better to be safe than sorry. One at a time is probably safer.
Right then. I really want to use that chair, but okay. How about you take Nerida first? That way I can get an idea of what is expected from me on my go-round.
Will do.
And so B.O.S.E wild shapes into this giant spider.
Should we try to take this rope with us? It might be useful later.
Transforming into a giant spider. Now, I'm not sure of the stats, and I could look them up. I could grab my bush really quick.
have 'em.
But a CR of a giant spider, because you only have certain CRs that you can transfer into. So anything small is going to be easy.
Yeah, giant spider is within my
Perfect.
my realm.
So literally, you become this giant rock spider. Thanks for that. Take a plot point for helping me out. As long as I love it when players have checked and know their characters in advance. So great, you become a giant spider, and we're going to say that with your climbing ability and your strength, as you're still the B.O.S.E creature, you can absolutely carry a person easily without falling off the wall.
This is gonna be fun. So B.O.S.E as a spider just goes next to Nerida and pretty much insinuating, let's get this thing moving.
I clamber on to Spider Bo's back. Spider Bo's. Spider Bo's.
You've got your fingers easily hanging onto all these vines. In fact, the stones actually make it almost like a seat you can sit on. And he seems to almost like shape himself around you a little bit as the spider takes you down. And he's got full movement speed, man. He can move up and down the walls. He goes down, and with your spider vision in the dark, you can still see him, whatnot. You can see the bridge. You can see where the rope is going down to Huxley holding this chair, you know, in his hands and whatnot, like kind of like talking to the chair, it seems, from your distance. Do you want to stop at the bridge, or do you want to go by it? And of course, Huxley, you can see Nerida with the hooded lantern lighting up spider bows coming down. So,
Hi again, Nerida.
Yeah. Hi.
Very nice.
Thanks.
bows? Stopping or going by?
Oh, geez.
Does the bus pull off?
The bus, I think wherever Huxley is at right now, the bus pulls off there. So where that bridge is, I suppose, right?
You can go down to the bridge.
does look super rickety, and you're like a big rock spider.
Now remember, the bridge actually leads, as I said in the previous game with Klaak, from an open cave system on one side to an open cave system on the other side. So literally you can actually get off and go into this cave system that this nasty old rickety bridge crosses and spans. Now you can...
So I guess I could... Yeah. Sorry, what was that, Sean?
Oh, I was just going to say, you can go out onto it if you want. You have no experience with these bridges, but you yourself have been in the Underdark long enough to know that some structures like these bridges absolutely are not load-bearing capacity. You know, it's just a common sense, you know it.
Yeah, knowing that B.O.S.E will not go anywhere like onto that bridge, because it's to him it's most certainly
off onto the bridge.
So yeah, B.O.S.E is not going on that bridge.
So you're down there. Do you want to jump off at the cave, Nerida, or are you continuing to ride? B.O.S.E, are you gonna leave the cave and then keep going? Remy's up at the top, just kind of staring down. Again, you guys are out of sight of him now. Well, you can see the light, but
Nerida suggested that we take the rope with us, so I guess Remy would be like back looking to see if he could like take the rope off of the stake. He's not going to try very hard.
You want to use your knife because you have a knife.
He does have a knife. Before he does so,
you have a wand too.
No one. Yeah. Does. Before he goes down, he sort of looks down and says, "No one's holding on to the rope, yes?"
Oh, we're good.
Huxley is.
Oh, let go.
Huxley's holding on to the chair, which is tied to the rope.
Huxley will let go of the chair.
You yell that down, Remy, and as you do, the rope pulls taut for a moment and then starts curling past you again, being able to pick up the chair now that it's not being held.
Oh, if only I had someone to lower me down here. Oh, well.
Oh, heck, just use it. Test your own theory.
My theory no worko if I'm...
Dead?
Yeah. We've discovered you need to be lowered down before you jump. And you need to not have already used the feather fall up by sitting on it before. Maybe it's a one-time use as well. Maybe doesn't know that either. So Remy's just going to try and see about cutting the rope.
As Remy's still considering it and whatnot, the rope finishes coiling up at the back of the cave and the chair uprights itself as the rope finishes coiling.
Yeah.
And you easily cut the rope away, and now there's a coiled rope attached to a chair right next to you, leaving only the little bit of the rope that was previously tied to the stake.
We'll see if he can untie it from the chair. He doesn't want to cut both ends.
Yeah, sure. You know, it takes a little bit of time. Okay. You know, minutes pass, and you figure it out. Come on, you're an artificer. You're used to working with stuff.
While he figures that out, they can be figuring out.
It then finishes coiling itself into a perfect coil. So you figure the magic is still there.
Yeah, Remy will sort of just put it in his bag and say, "I need to remember to make this a bag of holding later as well. Wonder if I could learn anything from the notes about doing that faster. Oh well." And he sort of just is muttering to himself while he's sort of like messing around in his bag and says, "All right, well, you're all still alive, yes?"
Mm-hmm. Do you want to bring the chair? Or are you leaving that at the back of the cave?
He's not. He's gonna leave the chair.
Okay. So he's yelled down to you all.
We're fine.
Okay, what's the plan? Nerida, are you still on the spider?
Nope, I'm off.
B.O.S.E, you want to come grab me?
B.O.S.E hears that and starts crawling back up the wall.
At least rock spiders aren't hairy.
There you go. Moments later, B.O.S.E is at the top, and Huxley's still standing on the bridge talking to a spider, and Nerida's standing down there in the cave watching Huxley talk to himself. I said spider, I meant rat. Watching Huxley appear to talk to himself. And
when B.O.S.E gets to the top and sees Remy, he kind of wants to just do like a little creepy, like with his his arms just like, come on over.
Plot point.
But B.O.S.E.
Yeah, it's B.O.S.E.
Stop
Just
thinking with your head.
What else do you think with?
We don't want to say that.
Polished wood.
That's where I was going with that.
We're just full of them today. We're just full of them today. All right, B.O.S.E, just please don't drop me and I'll get on. Very like it's just rockin' vines.
B.O.S.E proceeds down the cliff.
Carrying him down. No need for a check. He hangs on to you as much as he can. Maybe Remy's fear, please, and let's see if he botches a roll. Go for it. Make a acrobats roll, and if you botch it, 5 or less, you're gonna let go of your hold. There you go. No problem whatsoever.
Best roll of the day.
There you go. And you're at the bottom at the cave with Nerida and Huxley still standing out on a bridge talking to himself. Nobody else has seen your rat yet.
Sean, real quick. Can B.O.S.E see across to where this bridge attaches to, like, clearly?
No, because it actually goes pretty far. This is a pretty weak bridge, and it's got to be about the hanging down stalactite that I have coming down, probably about a good 100, 150 feet. It's a rickety bridge.
Dang, that's far. Okay. Damn.
Does Remy will sort of say, B.O.S.E, can you get me close? I'm gonna try and hold. I just want to see if this one part can start bearing my weight. We can all stand on this. Us three, and then you stay as a spider, of course. So I don't think it would have a snowball's chance in south of being okay.
B.O.S.E, since you were examining the bridge, I do want to point something out because you were down here with Klaak previously, and you've been down here for the couple of years and whatnot. You noticed something because you're in the cave end where the rope bridge is secured. And you do recognize something because you've grown to know the different cultures. This is actually a drow-made bridge.
Interesting. Okay. Also, one more question. Is there any adjacent, like, cavern walls, anything that, like, I can see?
No, it goes down into darkness.
Just complete darkness. Oh.
Yeah, in fact, you wouldn't have known the bridge was here except for the fact that, again, because you've been down here before, you know that there are some places where massive stalactites come down. Stalactites that can literally house entire buildings in them. It's part of the drow culture to build off the ceilings rather than from the ground up. And clearly what you thought was just a massive open cavern has some of these stalactites from a civilization previously out here. So while some people would say, oh, this is just a ravine, you would know a little bit differently because of this being a drow bridge. Anybody else would probably just figure you're spanning a ravine that maybe is, I don't know, beyond 60 feet wide.
Yeah. Okay.
Quick question. So does the bridge not run along the wall?
No, the bridge actually goes from the side of the ravine that you were on out from it to what you would probably picture the other side of a ravine. In this case, B.O.S.E know it's not a ravine, but
So sort of like clinging into B.O.S.E. I don't think B.O.S.E. can get on this, and it doesn't seem like he can really follow us. Should we just try and go to the bottom?
Sure.
That seems fair.
All right.
So, B.O.S.E. you just trucking each one to the
B.O.S.E.
bottom?
Yeah, B.O.S.E. is like waiting to see. All right, who's gonna jump on me first?
Yeah, he just bucks. Well, Remy's still on you.
Oh, Remy.
yeah.
Okay, Remy's still on me. All right, let's go then. Down we go, Remy.
It takes about another 90 to 100 feet to get to the bottom, where B.O.S.E. deposits you gently on what appears to be a sandy shore. Now, the ravine that you're actually in was not a straight wall coming down. It actually curved backwards, so you're kind of underneath where it is. And as he brought you down, it was not straight down. He actually brought you in as well, depositing you on what appears to be a sandy beach at the bottom. Cat, stop trying to eat my cords. Cat's like, tasty, your headphone cords. Leaving you at the bottom, B.O.S.E. heads back up and soon brings Nerida down as well. And Huxley, I'm assuming you got no problem coming. Are you leaving your rat or bringing it with you?
He's gonna bring his rat with him.
Okay. Your rat friend comes with you. You ride B.O.S.E. down, and B.O.S.E. shortly thereafter, it takes quite a while to go up and down and up and down. It's 90 feet each way, boom, boom. Some minutes pass, and you're at the bottom. Nerida, you have your light source still with you. You're all on the sandy shores of what appears to be a lake, and nearby you actually see, thanks to the Genasi's light, a dwarf body has washed ashore. A Durgar, actually. Gray-skinned dwarf.
Go investigate that body.
You realize the body is covered in burns, and it doesn't take much to put together that this is one of the ones that was up top.
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly check its pockets.
Ooh.
See if it has anything useful on it.
Does it have any? Is it wearing metal armor or anything?
This one
Is it?
is. This one is wearing a metal greaves and whatnot, which is probably the only reason he was still able to float. If I put him in metal armor, he went to the bottom. So, no, he's not wearing metal armor, but he does have metal greaves. He has bracers, which you can use, and he has he has a metal helmet, too. We'll put that one on him as well.
Nerida, can you get anything metal off of him for me, please?
Yeah, sure.
Duh.
And there is a,
The dead?
once again, a money
This is a
pouch and whatnot.
desecration.
You have a...
That is desecration.
It's survival.
Survival.
He was not carrying a metal armament, but he does have a whip at his side, which is unusual enough that it catches your eye, Nerida, because the whip is not a long, thin braid at all. It actually appears to be a tentacle at the end of it, coiled up, maybe about a 5 foot long, kind of useless you would figure as a whip, but it's this black, and it's still kind of oily tentacle, and the far end of the tentacle has what appears to be like a hooked pad on it. So you're like, this thing would normally appear kind of useless.
I have a theory, and I am going to take the tentacle whip, and I am going to try to whip into the side of a wall with it.
So you have taken off all the metal stuff, provided it to Remy, the greaves, the
dragged it over to
bracers,
Remy.
the helmet. You've gotten
And
the
while Remy is
valuable
distracted by the
items.
metal, I'm going to try to whip the wall and see, because it has like a little pad, like suckers on it.
It hooks, actually. Hooks.
Little hooks.
Yep.
Yeah. I've got a theory.
Okay. It goes out, and your theory about it hooking onto the wall, possibly, I'm guessing is what your theory is. It does not hook to the wall, but something else interestingly happens as you loot it out. You feel strange magic. The tentacle does stretch out far, almost like a whip, and the next moment you're actually standing in a different spot. You find yourself having moved and whatnot slightly. You're a little bit closer to Remy. So you know there's something there, but you'll have to spend a short rest with this to figure out exactly what it does to attune to it.
Yeah, I will wrap it up and I'll just coil it up and slide it into my bag.
Okay, you stuff it down into your bag, and as you do so, it feels almost like the hooks on the end of it and the hooks kind of along it, almost like hairs along this tentacle vine, try and grip onto the sides, almost like it doesn't want to be shoved into the bag. But it goes. You're able to stuff it in. There is resistance there.
Okay. Well, if there's any resistance, what I'll do is I'll be like, oh, do you want to be on my belt instead? And I'll like see if I can jerry rig one of the, because I have a bunch of leather straps and stuff on my outfit. So can I just like strap it to like my side?
As soon as you go to put it onto your side, it wraps itself around your belt loop the same way as it was on the dwarf previously, and it hangs itself, sitting at your side easily.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep, it does not hook onto your pants or anything else. Doesn't get in the way. It just hooks itself onto your belt and is there, as if it wants to be carried.
Huxley, do you want to say a prayer for the dead? Will that make you feel better?
Huxley walks over to start praying over the dead.
Just no incense this time. No more fire yet.
I understand. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, just saying.
And as you guys are working here, making your prayers, all of you can take notice of this. Again, the water, the shoreline that you're on. Looking out into the distance, far away, you can see some lights floating, almost like will-o'-the-wisps in the distance, but not across the water, but possibly on a shore. Maybe you're figuring maybe a quarter mile, half a mile away. Again, you can see just a single candle beam up to a mile. And when I say you figure there's multiple light sources out there in the distance, maybe a small village or a town not far away.
Okay.
Any idea what that is over there in the distance?
Well, B.O.S.E is technically still a spider right now. And he doesn't intend on wasting a good wild shape. So unfortunately, he's not able to verbally respond to you.
In the meantime, I will send the player an answer to that in the Discord.
Can I, once I've seen that there's this one body there, can I, like, look up at the bridge, triangulate where other, because do we know that there were more than one of these guys? Did we see them?
Yes. You saw some being...
So I want to try to triangulate where other bodies might have fell, and I want to use shape water to push the water away to see if I can find any more bodies.
Okay. Shape water does not do that big of a volume. You can do, I think it's like 5 feet or something like that, isn't it?
It's 5 cubic feet.
Yeah. So you push it back from the water. Cool. But that's for different effects, if I remember. It's not for the same effect. So you can do like cold. No, you can do the
same effect.
You can do the same effect?
It doesn't specify that you can't.
Let me go scroll over that one.
You can have 2 instantaneous effects of this at once.
Okay. And I thought the example it gave so that you could do like ice and something else, but...
Those are just different things I can do with it.
Anyway, so for right now, what we'll say is, again, you're pushing the water back because it's 5 cubic feet. That gives you a really good distance from the shoreline and whatnot to force it back, like a little bit like Moses parting the sea, pushing all this water back. And... trying to figure, again, because you sloped back from it, which means it's getting into the deep pretty quick. You know what? Let's make a roll. Let's have some fun with it. Go ahead and make an investigation roll. Let's see if you can roll high enough and catch one. It's not obscene.
Right.
You should be able to do it. I'm not setting it that high. It's only an 18. So.
21.
Sweet! You find just at the outer edge a body, a dwarf body that was wearing actually metal armor. And he had sunk to the bottom.
And use shape water to help me push it. I'm gonna make shape water ice underneath it so I can slide it a little easier.
Okay. And
Remy, I found you more metal. This one has armor.
Yep. This one has a full breastplate on it, as well as the greaves and other things, and it also gets you another money pouch as well. And this one was carrying a sledgehammer.
I don't have use for the sledgehammer. I'm sure one of them do. So I'll just pull the body out and be like, here's another body for you to pray at, Huxley.
Remy will actually grab the sledgehammer and say, "Oh, this is perfect," and then try and like break off part of the greaves, and it just like bounces right off. Oh, that hurts. That stings the hands.
I'm trying to pray.
That stings the hands. And that was like he got so excited, so that wasn't like stealth. Like there's a big boing.
Boing.
And one of the things you quickly realize is now at the bottom of the cavern with nothing but a still water lake in front of you, that sound echoes loudly into the distance, kind of off the walls where you're at. And it doesn't take maybe Huxley doesn't know, but the rest of you kind of realize it's like announcing a doorbell. hi, we're over here. And it's a short time later, that you see some lights actually appear closer than the distant village. And they appear to be like moving along, whether it's floating along water. Again, it's too far out, but you see lights moving lower to the ground, kind of in a little bit of a line.
Are there some spare rocks that are just kind of jutting around, some little stalagmites?
Oh
that
yeah,
I can hide
sure.
behind?
There's rocks that have fallen. This is a rocky
to
shore.
stealth.
Oh yep, you disappear. Whew. Nerida's gone.
B.O.S.E would also like to retreat a little farther up the wall, just to be a little bit out of sight from anybody that approaches the coastline.
You guys figure you have a few minutes before these lights get here, so you've got time.
Might want to hide, says a shadow.
Might want to put the bodies back in the water.
Oh.
Yeah, there are a couple bodies just laid here now.
Okay. We quickly put the bodies back in the water.
That's it.
Since we have a few minutes.
Yes, you do. Plenty of time to drag them out. She shapes the water with B.O.S.E as a spider, and Remy, you guys get them out there and submerge them. Now, fortunately, you've taken a lot of the weight off of them, but bodies only float after the air comes into them. So, for the most part, they go down. Not a problem. Whoop, they're in the water, out of sight.
Okay.
They'll be harder to see, at least. And then Remy's also going to try and hide, look for his own stalactite. And
Hide again.
Yeah. So Huxley, might not be a good idea if they see you.
Huxley, yeah, you're out there on your own.
Huxley will try and hide behind a stalactite.
Easy enough to find some downed rocks and other things that have fallen, and each of you go and you're gone. All right, let's do some stealth rolls. They're already asking for them, so we got Nerida being stealthy. We got Remy being stealthy. We just need B.O.S.E.
Incoming? Let's see.
Thank you so much, Huxley, because there's always one.
That's it. You're all hidden well. It's good. You guys know you're hidden well.
Yeah.
I rolled poorly for
It's
me.
the rat. The rat's like
He's over here.
Squeaking up a storm.
Squeaking, yeah.
Well, probably the fact that she's still talking to the rat or something like that, So anyways, Huxley beaten and bashed and down at the bottom, as Knight is pointing out. You guys are all waiting and waiting. You've dashed the bodies. When the voices coming up once more are speaking in Dwarvish. You only know this when they get really close, because they're not speaking loudly. They're not like hi ho, hi ho. It's that for those of you, and a few of you like Nerida have high perception and are used to listening, you catch these accents in the background. But again, as I recall, none of you, we had undercommon for Klaak, but the rest of you don't speak Dwarvish, correct?
I think Klaak speaks Dwarvish.
No,
that,
undercommon and Dwarvish. Yeah, and by the way, my perception is not high.
Oh no? Okay,
my
thank you for that.
perception is 9.
Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
I could just actually grab my little sheet in front of me. I just haven't been doing it. So.
Yeah.
No, I'm
look
not
at that.
wise. I'm
9.
smart. I'm not wise.
11. I think Huxley's the only one that I didn't grab it on. Passive. Oh no. Yep, it's there. There we go. Yeah, and 17. B.O.S.E is the one that's like really exceptional. So B.O.S.E, yeah, you hear them coming. In fact, yeah, Klaak. The rest of you guys kind of stink at passive perception. Wow. No, Huxley's good. Huxley's good.
Huxley at the 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm better than average.
Huxley and B.O.S.E are at the top. Their perception.
But
Yeah.
doesn't B.O.S.E have spider perception right now?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Especially from up above.
When you're
He's
wild
watching them.
shaped, your mental stats stay the same.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, even that, I mean, like wisdom and perception are like my best thing.
Yeah.
So, as we were saying, the dwarves actually come up along the shoreline. B.O.S.E, you're able to perceive them coming. Huxley, you happen to be over at a rock that's pretty close to them, underneath B.O.S.E. And as the dwarves come close and whatnot, you can hear them talking, whispering to one another. They're trying to be pretty silent. But you guys don't have to make a roll. You guys know them coming. Part of the reason you know they've gotten close was the front 2 lights. The rest of the lights have gone out around the corner, but there's front 2 that have lights that come into view, and these dwarves appear to be searching along, looking for tracks, and then they find these tracks of bodies being dragged out of and pushed back into the water. And so they start looking at these, and then they start looking at all the other footprints and whatnot that kind of disappear back towards the rocks. And that's when they put out their lights, which doesn't hurt most of you. Only Nerida is left in darkness. The rest of you can see. But the Durgar, who can also see in the dark, begin to follow the tracks in the ground back towards the rocks, towards the rest of you. Huxley, yours is the most visible tracks, and you see these two coming. And you guys hear a splash in the water as well. The two dwarves, B.O.S.E, you can see the two dwarves heading towards Huxley beneath you. And B.O.S.E, you can also see with your senses other dwarves come from around in the darkness, looking around. Moving forward.
Not good.
What would you all like to do? We're not in combat yet, so I'm not doing any rolls. We'll see what happens first.
Okay. So clearly they don't see me creeping above. So I would like to maybe shoot like a web of some sort, not like a line, but just like a shot of web into a different direction as a distraction.
Okay. I like that. Would your choice be back towards where they came or towards your other friends? Because I said Huxley is closest.
Back towards where they came, because clearly I don't want them going anywhere near anybody else here. So.
Okay. So are you shooting a ball of web or like a strand that you're trying to? We're assuming you can do this, so I'm fine with
a ball of web. Something
Okay.
that has a little bit of density, but.
Into the water or onto the shore? You figure the water they'd hear better. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, exactly. It would be louder in the water, so in the water it goes.
Moments later, splush over near the dwarves. You see the group of four stop momentarily with your sight and begin to look in that direction. It does not stop the two that have already approached. Those two, unfortunately, are already focused on this, and you can see as you're watching them pull out a massive net between them. Huxley, hang on, I want to try and outroll your perception. Yeah, these guys are good. Moments later, they throw the net, and Huxley, a net comes out on the other side of the rock right on top of you. We're going to roll them to hit, but your AC is pretty low because you're sitting still at the moment. And Huxley, the net comes right over, and luckily, you were bent down playing with your rat, and the net lands right on the other side of you. They rolled a nat one. So literally, it lands coming down right on top of you as you were curled down working with your little rat. And then they sprint around the sides of the rock. You guys, Alex, Remy, can see them move. Nerida, you're still in pitch darkness, so you have no chance of seeing them move. You're blind for the moment. And the sandy beach is covering most of the sounds of their movement from the distance that you're at. The other four at the back have checked out the water and are moving slowly back. What would you like to be doing, Nerida? You don't know about the four. You don't even know about the two. You just figure they're close. And Remy, let's hear what both of you are intending.
Am I able to use my wand, or do I need a lot more time with it? I figure I probably need more time with it.
I personally would say, but you can try it the same as Nerida. You can try anything you'd like. We'll just make some extra rolls, see if something goes wild or wrong.
Okay. I'll Remy will try and use the arcane focus to cast message, a very simple spell that he knows, to B.O.S. to just he's gonna try and cast message to B.O.S. because wait, no, because you have to speak. Never mind, because he would know that, and I don't. Because I was thinking it was telepathy. Never mind. Remy's just gonna try and stay hidden and be like, "Please don't kill us."
Okay. Sweet. Nerida, how about you?
I am going to take out that that whittling knife that I found, and I am going to try to hide it on my person.
Moments later, you got secreted away.
Yeah, and how close am I to Remy? Do I know? I can't see.
You cannot see, so you don't know where he went off to. Yeah, you just extinguished your light and disappeared in the darkness and made yourself invisible.
I am going to, yeah, I am going to very quietly take out, that, I would like to bonus action try to hide a little better. Because I think I'm hidden, but I know that I can do just in case if I hear them coming closer. Is that something I can do?
You can try anything. I'm just
hide.
I'm trying to decide how you would know where to hide better with being invisible
I'm just trying
or
to
anything
crouch
else.
lower and absorb more into the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should try and get more small.
There you go. All right, if you hear somebody coming, we'll figure that you're going to do that, and we'll probably let you do a reroll at that time to try and improve a little bit.
All right.
She accidentally stands up.
That might happen. It could happen.
All right, so Remy, Nerida's hiding, Remy's hiding. B.O.S E, what are you doing up on the wall? Huxley, you've just noticed this net come down, and these other Durgar are rushing around the side. B.O.S E, you have a clear sight of that. What do you want to do?
Okay, so to just get a general number here, how many of them are there?
Two that are surrounding the rock about to close on Huxley, and 4 back there near the shoreline.
So those 4 are not entirely aware of what's going on near Huxley, right?
Correct. They fell for your ruse and checked out the water, seeming almost nervous about it. They brandished all their weapons instantly.
Okay. So, jeez. B.O.S E is not not about to have his friend get taken away. Not another one. At this point, we think. So, son of a gun. B.O.S E would like to shoot a web at one of them.
Okay, we'll put you at, it's going to be a surprise attack, so go ahead and make your roll.
All right. Here we go. Okay, where did it land?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're about to witness either our murder or the murder of the 4th or 5th quest givers. Oh, gosh.
I don't know. It's I don't know. I've rolled a 9 for that.
That's it. And the web actually hits them. Yeah, they're totally surprised. Again, I adjust AC based on circumstances, and literally because part of your AC is your ability to respond, and they were not expecting that at all. Anything from above. Least of all, a spider. The web rushes over them, coats him in the stickiness. His buddy rushes around the corner, surprising Huxley the same way. He's a little surprised that Huxley's not in a net the way he's supposed to be. And you two come face to face. Huxley, you look up from the rat. This dwarf is there, expecting to grab somebody in a net, and you're not there in a net. What do you do, Huxley?
He says hi.
Huxley's like, hi! The dwarf, on the other hand, you see him literally grab his weapon off his side as a free action, which is what appears to be a large mace of some sort, and swings directly at Huxley. But he swings over Huxley's head. Huxley's pretty quick, dodging as the rat tells him to do, and the hammer smashes into the side of the rock, echoing out, and the echo is responded by a bubbling sound that echoes across the water. Nerida, Rembrandt, you hear this as well. There's this tone of like a ringing hammer, and then there's a resounding almost response from the water outside. The B.O.S E, you've just shot your web, and you see the other 4 dwarves whistle loudly, one of them, and the dwarf near Huxley looks up and retreats, giving Huxley a moment to get an opportunity attack on this dwarf as he attempts to use his movement to leave combat after swinging at Huxley.
This dwarf is clearly very scared of hitting a religious man. Clearly he knows God is in my favor, so why would I try to hit him back? So nothing to do with whatever's coming out of the water.
The dwarf, terrified, runs. Remy, you can peek from where you're at. Nerida, you can peek, but you see nothing because it's all dark. Remy, you're able to see the dwarf running off into the distance back the way he came. Huxley, you see these 5 dwarves take off. The other dwarf, which is fighting, uses his strength to try to break out of the webbing. What does he have to roll?
Oh, he has to roll.
He got a 4.
DC.
He sucked.
Yeah, okay.
What does he have to roll?
There.
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, jeez, it was. He has to have a DC 12 strength check.
Yep. Yeah,
So-
he got a 4. He's sucking wind. He can't get out of your webs at the moment. In the meantime, what are the rest of you doing? B.O.S E, you successfully scared them all off single-handedly. Well done, B.O.S E. Woo!
Yeah.
Does that burp, bubbling, gurgling sound like a language at all?
You're listening to it and whatnot, and it's getting louder, and now you actually hear water dripping, falling, kind of like a mini waterfall, like falling off of rocks and whatnot. The bubbling, turns into falling down larger and larger, and then all of a sudden you hear like a splash. No light going out that far. You don't have a lantern or anything else. And it appears to be coming ashore. And it's large. And as it comes into view, you look across the shore, and whatever has risen something from the water appears to be about 60 or 80 feet high. And Remy, you can see this in the dark. Huxley, what are you doing? Are you messing with the dwarf inside the web at all, or whatnot?
Goodness. Yes, because clearly they don't want to hurt us. This is evident by the fact that the first dwarf ran away. So he's going to see if he can help get him out of the web.
You're over there helping with the webs and whatnot, helping this dwarf who obviously clearly doesn't want to hurt a cleric and whatnot. You get to do an assisted roll. What is your strength to be able to add to his? Or
15,
your bonus?
That's a +2.
+2. I'm going to add that to his roll. Oh, yeah. You help him instantly. You're like ripping at this. The dwarf gets out, books it, running off towards his fellows and whatnot. As you and B.O.S E, who can clearly see. Remy, are you like trying to peek and watch, or what are you doing?
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
100%.
you can see
He's
this
trying
to the
figure out
shoreline
things.
at least. You guys have to be able to see, I don't know, how far, yeah, you guys can all make this to the shoreline a little bit out into the water. As something lashes out of the darkness at the water as this dwarf is trying to run along the water line around that edge that I told you, back towards the lights. Something lashes out of the darkness, wraps around this dwarf, and rips it off its feet. Up into the sky, into the darkness, out of your sight. And then you hear more of this as something is coming ashore. And as it slowly gets to the shoreline, you see this towering into the darkness above you. You can only see up to maybe its chest. Massive boughs, vines and tendrils and stones coming out of the darkness. Unfortunately, Nerida can see none of this. As it's dripping water having emerged from the lake onto the shoreline. And you hear this booming voice say, "This entity will protect the Kuotoa from the Durgar." And there it starts, these tendrils lashing out across the sands, coming towards all of you. And that's where we'll call it for tonight. As massive bows comes ashore, and vines are slithering out towards the darkness, towards all of you.
Good
Welcome
thing
to
Huxley
B.O.S.E,
prayed
Big's
before
brother.
this.
B.O.S E is probably ecstatic right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
But
good
maybe
thing, good thing Huxley prayed. Wow. Well, you guys successfully got down the cliff. You do not have a chair, but you do have some
Man.
rope. You have some metal. You
And
have
we
other
spent whole
things.
sessions moving like 30 feet
Yes, we did.
as the crow flies.
Oh my god.
150
100
feet.
something, but yeah, basically.
Wow. Down on the shore, whatnot, and as Night puts it, rock god has come. Rocks and vines. Oh my.
Love it.
Oh my. Well, I want
Can't
to.
wait.
Do you guys have anything you want to announce to our group as we get ready to close this out? And we're going to prepare to do a raid as well, so stay tuned for the raid. Come with us,
Thanks
at
for
least to the
tuning
other
in.
server.
Yeah,
Check us
please
out
stay
at our
tuned for the
various
raid.
things. Stay tuned for the raid.
Talk about what you got coming on there, Nerida. It's up on the screen for everybody. And then you pick your Vic.
Well, well, I've been bad and haven't uploaded stuff this week, so I apologize. But yeah, normally I do a little podcast called Deck of Queers. It's at Deck of Queers on Twitter. You can find me on the links displayed now. That's cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, Alex, you have a podcast too.
Yo, yeah, I have a podcast called Three Minds. Shout it out at the start of the show. Basically, it's a family podcast. We're on a hiatus right now, but if you haven't watched or listened to the episodes that we've recorded so far, feel free to listen to them. Kitty Doe.
I do a YouTube channel where I upload animations. I don't have anything coming out this upcoming Wednesday, but next Wednesday there should be a video coming up.
Sweet. And normally we
Eric.
would pass it off. Yep, there you go.
Well, as you probably heard in the beginning, there's going to be a new stream coming up soon, Relics of War. So look forward to that. Stay tuned for that, because I'll be there, and so will Sean. So other than that, I hope you guys have a great weekend.
And of course, That's Not Lock has his own Twitch channel as well, but he's not here tonight to speak, so watch as he gets that thing running again. But on behalf of all of us here at Plot Points, I want to wish you all happy gaming. God bless you in all you do, friends. And now let's go over and raid Samurai Jesus.
Yeah, special raid for Samurai Jesus. He's given us a lot of love in the past. He's a great guy. He's one of the best role players I know. And there's stirring a lot of content in GTA 5 RP. So he's a good dude. Check him out. Some of you probably already know him. All right, peace and love, folks, and take it easy.
Good night.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Night.